Proxima b, the nightmare next door. For centuries, we looked at the stars and wondered if we were alone. We looked at the vast, empty distances and assumed that if neighbors existed, they were too far to ever reach. But we were looking in the wrong direction. Our closest neighbor isn't a friendly twin of the sun. It is a dim, angry red ghost, hidden in the shadows of the Centaurus constellation. And orbiting it is a world that shouldn't exist, a world that is Earth-sized, sitting in the habitable zone, yet potentially more alien than anything we ever dared to imagine. This is Proxima Centauri b. It is only 4.2 light-years away. In cosmic terms, it's in our backyard. But once you look past the data, you realize this isn't a second Earth. It's a planetary prison. Part 1. The Red Ghost. A small, deep red glowing intensely, solar flares erupting violently from its surface. To understand the planet, you first have to understand its master, Proxima Centauri. Unlike our Sun, a stable yellow-white beacon, Proxima is a red dwarf. It is small, cool, and incredibly old. But cool is a relative term. Red dwarfs are notorious for being flare stars. They are temperamental. While our Sun has been relatively calm for billions of years, Proxima Centauri is prone to sudden, violent outbursts. In 2017, it released a flare so powerful that the star became 1,000 times brighter in seconds. If you were standing on a planet nearby, that flare wouldn't just be a light show. It would be a wave of high-energy radiation that would strip the DNA from yourselves and the atmosphere from your world. And yet, this is the environment where we found our habitable neighbor. Part 2. The Eyeball Planet. One side is a scorched red desert. The other is a frozen, jagged wasteland of black ice. Between them is a thin, glowing ring of twilight. Proxima b is what scientists call tidally locked because it orbits so close to its star, completing a full year in just 11 days. The gravitational pull of Proxima Centauri has stopped the planet's rotation. On Proxima b, the sun never rises and never sets. One side of the planet is in eternal, blistering daylight, staring forever at that bloated red sun. The other side in a permanent, soul-crushing night, where temperatures drop toward absolute zero. This creates what astronomers call an eyeball planet. Imagine a world where the oceans on the dark side are frozen miles deep, while the oceans on the day side night. Between them is a thin, glowing ring of twilight. This is Proxima e, cinematic simulation of massive hurricane-force clouds moving from the day side to the night side at supersonic speeds. Physics tells us that on a tidally locked world, the temperature difference between the hot and cold sides creates a global atmospheric engine. The hot air from the day side rushes toward the vacuum of the cold side at supersonic speeds. On Proxima b, you wouldn't just have weather, you would have a global, never-ending hurricane. If there is an atmosphere, it is being whipped around the planet with enough force to grind mountains into dust. If you stood in that twilight zone, you would be listening to the screaming roar of a wind that has been blowing for 5 billion years. But even if you could survive the wind and the cold, there is the invisible killer. Proxima b receives 400 times more X-ray radiation than the Earth. Every few days, the star erupts. Without a massive Earth-like magnetic field, the planet's surface is sterilized. Any liquid water on the surface would be blasted by ultraviolet light, breaking the molecules apart into hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen, being light, escapes into space. This is the horror of Proxima. We see a planet in the habitable zone, but it might be a dead world walking, a rocky husk that had its water and air stolen by its own mother star. Part 5. The Neighbors. But Proxima b is not alone in this dark system. In 2019 and 2022, we found siblings. There is Proxima c, or mini Neptune, 7 times higher than our world, orbiting far out in the frozen darkness. And then there is Proxima d, one of the lightest exoplanets ever found, hugging the stars so closely that it is likely a scorched molten rock. They are a family of misfits orbiting a star that seems intent on destroying them. Part 6. The Search for a Signal. In 2019, the Breakthrough Listen project detected a mysterious radio signal coming from the direction of Proxima Centauri. It was named BLC-1. For a moment, the scientific community held its breath. Was this it? A signal from the neighbors? After years of analysis, the signal was determined to be human interference, radio leakage from our own technology. But the mystery remains. If life exists on Proxima b, it wouldn't look like us. It would have to be subterranean. It would have to live deep beneath the ice of the dark side or within the rocky crust, shielded from the star's radiation. It would be a life form born in the dark, fed by the internal heat of the planet, never knowing what a sun looks like. Conclusion: the first step into the dark. We are currently building the tools to see Proxima b clearly. The James Webb Space Telescope and the upcoming Extremely Large Telescope will soon analyze its light, looking for the chemical fingerprints of oxygen, methane, or CO2. And projects like Breakthrough Starshot aim to send tiny laser-powered probes to the system. They would travel at 20% the speed of light, reaching Proxima b in 20 years. For the first time in human history, we have a destination. We have a target. It may be a world of screaming winds, lethal radiation, and eternal shadow, but it is our neighbor. And in the cold, vast silence of the universe, even a horrifying neighbor is better than being alone. Are we ready to meet them?